Welcome to the Carson Newman University Faculty Orientation and Training Series. This video is part 1 of 5 videos about building and using assessments in Edvance360. Part 1, the Gradebook. Good course design doesn't start with the content or lesson material. It starts with knowing what's the purpose of the course and what will the student be able to do, think, or feel differently after successfully completing the course. These are the course learning objectives and student learning outcomes or competencies. Next, you will decide what each of the lesson modules will focus on, how they will relate to the course objectives, and how will you assess whether the student has reached the objectives of understanding for that lesson. Once you know the objectives and outcome targets, you can then articulate how you will measure student success in reaching the goals. Some of the ways you may measure student outcomes are through tests, projects, surveys, interviews, case studies, class discussions, research papers, or presentations. Once you know how you will assess, you're ready to set up the gradebook. The Edvance360 Gradebook is easy to use. It works best if you can set up the items in the following order: rubrics, gradebook categories, gradebook items, grouping gradebook items, and then gradebook weights. Note, at a minimum to use the gradebook, there must be at least one category set up before adding items. Whether using portfolio assessments, written reports, poster presentations, discussions, or other types of assessment, the development of a rubric is a way to define quantitative and qualitative criteria for measurement. Rubrics offer the instructor an easy and consistent way to grade. When shared with the student, they offer criteria guidance and a way to self-evaluate their work before submission. Within the course, select the Gradebook course tool located on the left navigation panel. Select the Rubrics link, select the Add New green button at the right of the screen, enter a name for the rubric, and optionally add a description. Once the rubric is created, we need to add criteria and levels. Once all criteria and levels are created, fill in the descriptions for each level in each criteria. Adjust the default points to suit the level and criteria, and save your changes. Gradebook categories. Using categories in the gradebook will allow the instructor to view a report which lets him or her know which students may need extra help in certain types of graded assignments. For example, if the categories are assignments, tests, and participation, the instructor can run a gradebook category averages report. When interpreted, the data highlights which students may be struggling with tests but doing well on assignments. This may be a flag that the student needs a different sort of assessment or cause for further investigation. Assessment weighting is done 2 ways, either by points or by category. When using the point system, different assessments are weighted according to the points they are assigned. Weight tied to categories make the category less or more valuable. In these examples, we see that quizzes are the least valued assessment. To create gradebook categories, from within the course, you'll select the Gradebook option on the left navigation panel, select Gradebook Categories, and then add a category. We'll give it a name, save, and we'll repeat as many times as we need to for as many categories as we have. Now we'll create a gradebook item. Within the course, select the Gradebook tool from the left navigation panel and then select Gradebook Items. Choose the Add New Item button, and here we'll put in the new name for the assessment. And then, how many possible points can the student earn when completing this assessment? Note The gradebook is based on points. You cannot put in a letter grade here. The software will calculate the letter grade according to your gradebook map. If you've previously created one, you can select a rubric to grade this assessment. Select the appropriate category for the assessment. If you're using the point system, you may choose to have all your items have the same category. If this is an extra credit item and you are weighting by category, you can select to exclude it from the weighting scheme. You may also exclude from grading altogether. This works well for pre-tests or pre-assignments to measure the class skills before the course begins. Optionally, add an item description. This is for your purposes only. Students will not see this description. And optionally, add sort order and date. And again, these are for your use only. These are not for the students. This is not a due date. And when done, select Submit. New in Edvance360 is the ability to group gradebook items and present to the student a sum, average, or median of all items. This works great for a large project that may have several components, each of which receives a grade in themselves, but you want to present a completed project grade. To group items in your gradebook, within the course, select the Gradebook Course tool, select Grouped Gradebook Items, select the Add New green plus button, fill in the name field, select Sum, Average, or Median to tell Edvance360 how to grade this grouping, select the gradebook items to be grouped, and then select the Save button. And now it's your turn. Log on to Edvance360 and explore. The next recording in this series is Assessing with Discussions. In that recording, you will learn how to organize, create, and grade discussions.